How to sound like this and not to sound like this. We will find out in today's video. Here we go. Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm Justin Hombach, back from my practice cave, and welcome to today's video. A few days ago I released a video about one of my favorite Dream Theater songs and solos, As I Am. There I analyzed why this solo is such an awesome, such an epic and such a cool shred solo. But in that solo we have a certain lick, this one here. And I covered that solo a few years ago. And I can clearly remember how hard it was to get this lick right under my fingers. At a certain point I got it up to tempo, but it was just not feeling right and was not clean at all. And now a few years have passed and I have relearned this solo a few days ago, and it was definitely easier to learn this lick because my right hand has developed a lot in the last couple of years, but still I had some troubles and some issues getting this lick really precise and really clean. And after recording the last YouTube video I realized, wait a second, the answer was right under my nose. I haven't used a certain technique that I'm practicing for years now in that lick, and after realizing it and then approaching that technique to the lick, it was so much easier to get this fast but also tight, precise and clean. And a technique that I'm talking about is, of course, the technique that I'm talking about a lot on this channel. Now, I don't care if you are annoyed of this technique, but I can't stress you enough. And this is again another proof how important this technique is. And of course, I'm talking about pick slanting. The lick itself is quite complex when it comes to pick slanting, but it's really good to showcase and to demonstrate the purpose of pick slanting and why pick slanting is so important in our right hand technique. Now, if you don't know what pick slanting is at all, then I highly recommend to you to check out the description box of this video, because there I provide for you a free lesson from my speed picking online masterclass, the Zen of Speedpicking. There I give you for free the chapter about pick slanting, where I explain pick slanting in detail. And if you want to know more about how to develop a good picking technique, how to understand pick slanting, getting certain practice routines on your hand that shows you how you can develop a really good and precise and controlled right hand picking technique, and then of course a lot of licks, etudes and workouts that shows how you can boost your creativity and your playing to the next level because of using pick slanting, then check out the Zen of Speedpicking, my big online masterclass about the beautiful world of speed picking. And if you want to learn the whole solo, As I Am, from Dream Theater, then also check the description box. There I provide you the full lesson, note for note lesson of that solo. Alright, let's take a look at that lick. Now for the left hand, and that's the good thing about this lick, for the left hand it's actually pretty easy because we only have to do one fingering. This one here, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. You don't need more fingers or different kind of fingerings. It's all based on this. So we can throw away our left hand because this is not interesting at all, and we can focus a lot on our right hand. Hell yeah! The lick starts with 3 notes on the E string. Uneven number of notes as a starting point on the lowest string means we have to use upward pick slanting. Why? Because then, let me change the pick real quickly for demonstration purpose, because then the tip of the pick is free in the air and we can go to the next string without having any problems. When we now would have the opposite direction, downward pick slanting, you see what's happening here? The tip of the pick is stuck between those 2 strings. Bist du eigentlich scharf, mein Freund? So again, we're starting with upward pick slanting, marked as the blue field. Then on the A string we have 6 notes, which means we have an even number of notes per string, and that means we can always stay with the pick slant. We don't have to change the pick slant now we want to go from one string to the next string. So upward pick slanting, upward pick slanting. Now comes the tricky part, because now we have again 3 notes on the D string, an uneven number of notes per string, and this means we have to change the pick slant, in this case to downward pick slanting. So again we have upward, upward, downward. So now we have two options when we can change the pick slant. We can first change the pick slant on the first note of the upcoming string, for example, upward, 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 down. With that note we can change to downward pick slanting, because here we have to use downward pick slanting, because now the tip of the pick is free in the air, ready to go to the next string. When I would stick with upward pick slanting, this would happen. See, the tip of the pick is stuck between those two strings. So we definitely need downward pick slanting. But we either could do it on the first note of the D string with the so-called snap movement that some of you may know from the Paul Gilbert lick, where do the pick slant change within one note, the so-called snap movement. Or you could also do it like this: upward pick slanting, upward pick slanting, down. Now with the last note of the D string, we could also use this so-called snap movement to move the tip of the pick free in the air and to go to the G string. This is something where you have to test a little bit which is better. I personally like the second version a little bit more, when we have the pick slant change, the direction change on the last note of the string, not on the first note. I mean, the last note is the important note as well. There we definitely need that pick slant change so that the tip of the pick will be free in the air. There's a third option as well, which I discussed deeply in the Zen of Speedpicking, but this is not necessarily the situation where we need that third option. And for the rest of the lick, we repeat it, starting on the A string. And then we have 3 notes on the D string, upward pick slanting, 3 notes on the G string, downward pick slanting, upward pick slanting, again 3 notes on the B string, 3 notes on the E string, again upward pick slanting. So in total, we have upward, downward, upward, downward, upward. Downward, upward, downward, upward, downward, upward, downward. Now I do this movement, of course, a little bit over exaggerating for demonstration purpose. Play this lick fast, it would more look like this. Something like this. Again, this is not an easy lick to get it really tight and really precise. Even Petrucci doesn't have it as tight and as precise. But there again, I realized how important pick slanting is to get a bigger awareness and a bigger control for your right hand. Of course, you can do all of this with one-way pick slanting, but then I guarantee to you the amount of noises that you will get while hitting accidentally different strings and whatnot will be much higher instead of practicing the pick slanting technique. Now, how do we start practicing pick slanting technique? First, we have to check out, are we a natural downward or natural upward pick slanting player? Then we have to practice licks from the opposite pick slanting direction. For example, I used to be a natural downward pick slanting player due to the nature of being a metal guitar player. So I practice a lot upward pick slanting licks. For example, in the Zen of Speedpicking, I provide you with tons of upward pick slanting licks that you can check out and that you can practice and work on. And then we gradually go to two-way pick slanting by including more and more changes between one downward and upward pick slanting in our practice routine or in our licks. There are some really cool licks out there. I have some for free here on my YouTube channel. I have, I think, over 20 of them on the Zen of Speedpicking. So there's definitely a lot that we can learn, that we can practice on. But it is definitely worth it to take a deeper look into pick slanting. Not only for this kind of shredding, also for rhythm guitar. I made a video where I showcased few metal riffs that demonstrates pretty well how important the knowledge and the awareness about pick slanting is also in rhythm guitar. So again, my monthly reminder for you to work on your pick slanting. I hope you liked this little Friday video. If you liked it, then consider subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like for more. And I hope I'm going to see you soon in my next video. Cheers and power your progress. Bye.